This is a multi-part series on how I made the book bowl and all the miniature books. This is the most asked question. How did I find and make the covers? And I'm going to level with you guys right now. This was the most time-consuming part, and it took forever to source these images, especially the spines. So if you're planning on making mini books, set your expectations now. You will be spending some significant time on this, but I'll walk you through it anyway. Okay, so I'm in Publisher. Don't ask why I use Publisher. I have no idea. If I had to do this again, I would definitely use Canva or something else. Publisher is way too clunky. Here's my secret weapon. If the book is published before 1976, go to this website, dustjackets.com. Try to find the book there. It's the best archive I've found for cover images and spine images on older books. You can see I found Women in Love by D.H. Lawrence on there. So easy, cover and spine and even the back if I wanted it. Dustjackets.com is pretty limited, and they didn't have a lot of the books I needed for the bowl, but luckily the covers aren't too tough to find. Just Google image search the name of the book and you'll find it. You might find multiple variations of the cover, and I usually just use whichever one I like best. The spines are the tough part. Sometimes you get lucky, like I did with Constant Gardener, and there's a nice pic of the spine on Google that I can clip. Other times you might have to find a picture on someone's social media of like a book stack, and you can clip it from that. Next up is Left Hand of Darkness, and I found a nice spine and cover. I'm actually adding the title to the cover even though it's not there on the life-size book, just so I remember what it is when I pull it out of the bowl. Next we have To Kill a Mockingbird, another dustjackets.com find. Easy enough, just clip what I need and resize. Go Set a Watchman isn't on the site, however, so I found a random picture on the internet of someone's book spine, and I'm adding the cover. Okay, here's an interesting one, Cost of Living. I don't remember if I didn't find a spine at all or if the spine pictures I found weren't good, but whatever the case was, I just decided to make my own spine. I matched the color from the front cover, and now I'm just adding my own text. No shame in doing that, I had to do it several times. You can tell on my Narnia spine, it was just a picture of someone's book because the lighting is reflected. Not a huge deal, and I'll just keep letting these play out. So why didn't I do the backs? 2 reasons. First, the back images are so hard to find. Dustjackets.com has them, but most of my books weren't on the site. Second, I wanted to be able to keep track of the date I read the book and my rating. My one wish, though, if I could go back and do them all over again, I wish that I gave the backs the same color as the fronts, so it would be more colorful in the bowl. Resizing is definitely an art. You might smush some text or mess with the proportions a bit, but overall, it's probably going to look fine, even if it's a tiny bit stretched or smushed. Remember, these are going to get printed teeny tiny. No one's going to notice a slight imperfection or scale issue. As an aside, because I'm using a resource like dustjackets.com and random people's social media book spine pictures, I can't resell these images. They're fine to snag for my own personal use, but I'm sorry, I don't want to get into trouble. I might be able to share the template I made, and I can probably make mini books for you if you're interested, but I don't think I can post the pages I already made. But at the end of the series, you'll have your own step-by-step tutorial, and if you have some time to kill, you can make mini books for yourself. This took a long time. The page you see here has 30 books on it, and it took me about an hour, and I was making 500 books. So you can do the math. It was a pretty significant chunk of time. And that doesn't even count all the other steps like the cutting and the gluing.